I showed you to your credit
Hello, what's up? What's up? What's up? You gotta come in, hit like and hit share. Get my AirPods.
Let me have your pill.
Okay. Make sure you slice that in. Oh, I hit 34,000 subscribers yesterday.
Look at you, big team.
I know. I'm too busy to live stream about it. You all come in, say hello, say what's up, hit that and share button, put my AirPods in. I could have said I could sit outside and live stream and wait on it. Let me cut this down. I want my video to get copyright strike. What's up? What's up? Hello, six-figure mompreneur. Gotta love that. Six-figure mompreneur. Let's talk about some things real quick while I'm waiting on my food. My beautiful daughter it's ordering for me. Hello, Dr. Forms. Oh, it's my stylist. I was wondering what my stylist is. I want you all to see my t-shirt, but you can't really see it. See? It says, do business until I return. Can you see that? That's the 10X. Got the arrow pointing up. Do business until I return. You can find it in my merch store. It should be showing down at the bottom. So I ordered it, got that in today. If I was at home in my home office where I live stream, I could have stood up and showed you all. Congratulations to me. You all give me a 34K. Give me a 34K in the comments. And yesterday I hit 34,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I am so happy about that because YouTube is a very challenging platform to build a following on. And so anytime I hit a milestone or accomplishment on YouTube, because it is highly saturated, a lot of competition on YouTube, right? And so every time I hit a milestone on YouTube, I am so happy and thankful. Thank you, King Solomon. His 34K. Put in hashtag 34K. So my daughter and I was having this conversation. Y'all let me know how the sound is, if the sound is good, about Wendy Williams and her Wells Fargo bank account being frozen. And I want to have a conversation with you all, see what you all think about that. They're saying due to her mental health. Now, if you've been following me for any amount of time, I gave you the history. I've been giving you the history on Wells Fargo for a long time. And starting with when it was known as Freedman's Bank, and they convinced the slaves, right? With a name like that, any slave that had just been freed, so they thought, of course, would want to do banking just from the name alone, right? And so this was also known as Wells Fargo Freedman Bank. And you got to put 34K, put 34K. Come on, help me celebrate. Put that in the comment, whether you are watching this live or in the replay. So Wells Fargo does not have a good history as far as banking with the Black community, right? As far as banking in the Black community. And another thing, you all, I do appreciate, let me say this real quick, everyone that has already purchased the book. But when I really had the opportunity, I've been having some very busy days. I noticed Sunday I was discussing the book with my niece, And the manuscript, an older manuscript that was not edited correctly, is what the book was printed from. So if you order the book off Amazon or even requested for an autographed copy, I was able to upload the correct manuscript that did not have so many uh, grammatical errors. Did I say that right?
You the English whiz.
I'm not really the English whiz. So many grammatical errors. However, one person was very supportive. They texted me today and said they were so excited and their grandkids got the book. And I told them, I said, well, I apologize because the book you may receive may be the one with the incorrect manuscript. And I don't want your grandkids, right, reading a book that the manuscript is it's not accurate. Now, I did send out the autograph copy of those who ordered because they were prompt to do it. But what I'm going to do, that when the new manuscript that has a 72-hour window of approval on Amazon, so right now it's not available to purchase. So after I've uploaded the new manuscript or the correct manuscript, it should be fixed. Let's say Wednesday or Thursday of this week. And so, yeah, I do apologize in advance. I was very excited about it. Jason, you're one of the ones that I'm glad you hopped on. That I emailed. I did mail this book out to you, but I noticed after me and my niece was sitting and reading that it was the wrong manuscript I wanted to read with her. And you may see some grammatical errors, but that is in the process of being corrected and fixed. And so those who order the autograph copies, I'm going to send you 2 copies because I definitely want our kids to read books that are grammatically correct, right, Jason? So that's to you, but I did mail it out. I did make a note on the back of the envelope that a second edition will be coming. And so thank you for the 34K. Thank you everyone that's put the 34K in, and congrats. Gave me the congratulations. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, Jason. So I got you. Though. I want our kids to read it grammatically correct. So there were a couple of issues, but I mailed it out because I didn't want people to, I made a note on it. I didn't want people to be waiting a week or so. So there would be a new mailing, more than likely first thing this week. Now, 2 things. Okay, so back to Wendy Williams and her bank account being seized by Bank of America. Wells Fargo. And the history I give you all is that Wells Fargo used to be Freedmen's Bank, and they stole millions of dollars, right, from the slaves in the 1800s, their deposits, and they brought in Frederick Douglass to try to restore it. But people, is I'm reading from my phone, and this is also my new shirt. Do business until I return. If you all can kind of see it, and it has the 10x with the arrow up, not a little different. I'm sorry, I'll show it to you when I'm at home and you can see it. But that's in my merchandise store. You can purchase that as well. Luke 19:13. The Bible tells you 2 types of people in the Bible. There were slaves, right? Slaves and people that were business owners and people that did business. Luke 19:13. It talked about slaves, people that work for money. Then it talked about business people or masters that they put their money in position to work for them. So when a lot of people tell me the rapture is coming, when this economy crashes, I'm waiting on the rapture, this, and that. I said, well, if you're waiting on the rapture, are you doing what Luke 19:13 says, which is to do business till I come or till I return? Because if you're not doing business, that's a direct scripture command. Then say work a job. That's just food for thought. Did not say work a job. So at least at minimum, I'm gonna break down to you why you should at least have a job and other MIS, right? I mean MSI, multiple sources of income. Talking to my daughter. So Freedmen Bank was established in 1865 by Abraham Lincoln as a part of the Freedmen's Bureau. As the Civil War drew to a close, the United States Congress and President Lincoln realized the need to the newly freed Black men and women in their transition to freedom to support the land grants and other elements of the Freedmen's Bureau Act. A Freedmen's Bank was established to help newly freed Americans navigate their financial lives, called it the financial literacy program of its day. During its existence, the Freedmen's Bank maintained some 37 offices in 17 states, right? I want to break down WSI. Give me a few minutes. Talking about Wendy Williams. Now, Freedman Bank is known today as Wells Fargo. So the bank had, and people, this is 1865, over 57 million in deposits that was adjusted from inflation and 70,000 depositors. Just 5 weeks after establishment of this bank, President Lincoln was assassinated, right? So President Lincoln wanted the establishment of Freedmen's Bank. He also wanted the government to have its own currency known as the greenback. A lot of people think that the cash currency is the government currency. No, there's Federal Reserve and U.S. Treasury, which are family corporation banks, cartels, right? And so with that being said, President Lincoln, just 5 weeks after Freedmen's Bank was established, over 70,000 depositors, 1865, he was assassinated. And then in 7 years later, the number 7 means a breaking down into an old to build a new thing, right? Number 7 is that transition, going into the number 8, the infinity, right? And so number 7 years later, in 1872, the United States Congress voted to permanently close the bank's bureau. The bank had remained operational, and again, they put Frederick Douglass over to try to restore, but it was too far gone. And the U.S. Department of Treasury and Grant Building, which cost $260,000 to construct. So they opened a new branch in D.C., right? Remember, over 700,000 depositors, right? Do I need to cut this line out? Or you? I mean, 70,000 depositors, people. 70,000 deposits, $57 million back in 1865. These newly freed slaves. And guess what? Even, Frederick Douglass himself invested $10,000 of his personal funds, but a year later, 1874, the bank fell and it undermined its reconstruction. So people, all of this money, a total of, they're reporting $3 million both to individuals and cultural institutions, lost their savings as freedmen banks pretty much stole these free newfound slaves' money. Now they're saying 3 million, but they're saying the initial deposit was 57 million. So just imagine what 3 million is worth in 2022. If it was real, and I believe it's way higher than 3 million, right? But if they're reporting 3 million in 1865, imagine what that would be worth now in 2022. And so Wells Fargo has never had a history of treating the Black and brown community monetary wise without any discrimination, as they have freed up millions from Wendy Williams. They're saying due to her mental health, but it's her money. That's not their call, in my opinion, to freeze up her money, and she has to meet the payroll for herself, her bills, her business, and her employees. So she has to get a lawyer to fight for her money. So when people tell me about FDIC and they feel safe keeping their money in the banks, even as we're going to this monetary reset, I wonder why. Because if you owe anything, for example, to the IRS, you're going to have to your bank account can be freeze at any time, and you cannot be allowed to have access to your funds. And people, just think about it. Under the fractional reserve banking system, every time your money is deposited by direct deposit into the bank on your paydays, the bank now is able to and I have my 10X shirt on, to lend out 10 times more. 10 times more. And so with that being said, let me pick this phone up. I forgot I'm not driving. I think I can see me better. Okay, I usually have my phone prop there. I don't think you can see me much better. But at any rate, in front of you. Well, you can't see me much better anyway. But oh, okay. Yeah. All right, this is a little better. Let's see. They can see me a little better just like this. All right. So with that being said, people, just make sure, and a lot of people sometimes are skeptical about cryptocurrency and the safety of it, but I can tell you, when the powers that be get ready to seize funds, seize your transaction, and all of that, and then when these central banks digital currency come into play, they're going to have more control. They're going to be able to have control and approval over your every transaction. And you're going to have an expiration date in which you have to spend that money or it dissolves. And so they're already testing the digital yuan now in China in the Winter Olympics. They say everything is testing good and going good with it. The citizens are saying, hey, we like this better than the physical yuan. So they're getting out of what's called the SWIFT system and changing to the SDR system. This is why you all need to know the cryptocurrencies called and the ISO 20022, right? That is changing from the SWIFT system, the old system of way of doing with physical money, physical cash, now to the central money. And central banks will have more control once they release their CBDCs, but they're going to convince the people that this will boost the economy. It will have control over inflation. They're going to raise the interest rates. The feds are next month in an attempt, they're saying, to control inflation. As you see, gas is getting higher, the supply chain. So when that doesn't work, then the answer is going to be CBDCs to the rescue. But people don't understand the privacy that they hold, right? And or the control that they will have, and that you will have an expiration date, and where if you don't spend that money, right, that's going to be that. There's a way of saying, this is how we're going to have to boost the economy. You got to spend it or you're going to lose it. And real assets that you can get right now, such as certain cryptocurrencies, such as physical gold and silver, which is real money, which is sound money, which will be used to reset the currency system. CBDCs may not approve for you to be able to invest and acquire the real money, the constitutional money. That by constitution, money must be sound. It must be limited in supply. So fiat money, cash, cannot be considered real money. It is just currency, right? And so let's look at this domestic industry. Wendy's son has power of attorney now. They thought Wendy wasn't getting better. Now she is, thanks to her son and family. But they tried to get her. Well, You do know that Wendy Williams came out and said she was against the jab. She was like, "No, I'm not getting it." You remember that interview? And so, yeah, I don't think they like that much anyway. But I've never seen that been a situation where they felt like she wasn't sound enough, or a person wasn't sound enough to handle their own funds, and where it's millions of dollars, to where her mental health is an issue in her, you know, paying her bills and her staff. So let's get into the second topic. What is WSI? Kayla, what's WSI? You know. All right, people. Now, there's only two ways, right? Um, Two ways that money can be multiplied, or money can be made, right? Money can be made or multiplied. Number one is for people that work for it, right? They go to a job. You can work for the money, or you can put your money to work for you, right? Only two ways. Only two ways. But there's three strategies to this, and this is the three levels. Now, I want you to reference to Matthew 25:14. The Father, and I know King James says master, but I don't like using the word master and slave. And this is Black History Month, so I'm going to paraphrase. The Father gave three sons physical gold, which is real money, and he went away for a long time. The first son, he gave 5 ounces of gold. The second son, 2 ounces, and the third son, 1 ounce. Now, MSI, and I'll let you know what it is later. But it's three ways that are three strategies that separates the poor working class, the middle class, and then the rich and wealthy. Right? It's how they strategize in making that money. So two ways to make it, three strategies. Either you go to work for it, you work for it, right? You are the fiduciary of the money that you labor for. It's earned income, active income. If you don't put forth the work, you don't get paid. Or you can make your money and you can flip the game and make it work for you, right? Most people work for money, but they never make their money work for them. They never invest. They either spend it or they gamble it. That's it. So 95% of Americans, they do the M1 strategy, right? Which means they exchange their time for money. And people, you can never have enough time, right? You can never have enough time. When I was speaking to my mentor, he told me, the lie they tell people is that they're 24 hours in a day. It's really not 24 hours in a day. When you really calculate the daylight or the sunrise to the sunset, it's not 24 hours. And when you look at the time that it takes the body to rest and reset itself, which can be from 6 to 8 hours, that's not 24 hours. Even if you work the graveyard shift, which is not the best shift, to make sound, mental, money decisions, you still don't have 24 hours in a day, right? So I tell people you can either make money on your feet by working or in your sleep, right? Sometimes people ask me, well, I want to do what I'm passionate about. And I asked them, I said, well, the Bible never talks about passion. It talks about your gift. It says your gift will make room for you. And when you operate in your gift should pay you. If you're passionate about something and not getting paid, you need to tap into what you're gifted at. Because just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean that it's going to pay you. And if it doesn't pay you, then how can you remain passionate? How can you be passionate about something and you're struggling financially? So that takes a sense of your energy, your emotional, and your passion that you have towards something, because now you don't have the money to finance it. Now, don't tell me, Queen, I can still be passionate about something and not have the money. No, the Bible says that's a lie. because the Bible says money answers all things, even what you're passionate about, right? Ecclesiastes 11 says you should invest in at least 7 to 8 streams or sources of income. And so M1 is where the category people exchange their time for money, and you never have enough time. You don't have enough hours in a day. At some point, your body has to rest and reset, right? Now, M2 is the category that 3% of the population knows about, approximately 3%, and that's they're exchanging they make their money, they put their money work for them. They know, as Matthew 25:14, the power of investing. And I'm not talking about a 401k. See, only the poor working middle class think that 401ks and pensions are investments, and they're not. A 401k is a part of the 40-40-40 plan, which was when our grandparents or our great grandparents told us, or this formula worked for them, right? That if you work 40 years at a really good job, 40 hours a week, that you can retire with a really good pension or 401k and live off 40% of their income. But again, inflation proved that's a lie, right? That's why I've worked in the public school system for 16 years. Teachers would retire and they would have to recycle back into the school system. And this is supposed to be an institution of knowledge and thinking outside the box. But one thing that most teachers haven't been taught and don't understand is financial education. They don't understand financial education. And so many times their pension was not enough to live off of. And so now they used to, Walmart doesn't want them anymore. They used to stand up and be the greeters that says to you, welcome to Walmart. Walmart cut that job description out. So now they have to recycle back into the school system and work extra hours as a substitute teacher. So they're really not enjoying their retirement. So the 40-40-40 plan is gone, right? It's no longer can you work 40 years, and 40 hours a week, right? And live out 40%. Not when inflation is the highest it's been in 40 years. That's the 40-40-40-40, right? And so now, and I think I said the first category was 95%. I stand corrected, it's 96%. So we got 3% of people that understand how to invest and how to make their money work for them. Now we come to 1%. This is the secret that Bob Proctor learned in the 60s that I learned from watching and listening to Bob Proctor. He said he knew that he was in this wealth class, right? And he knew that he went from making $4,000 a month to his first year making almost $20,000 a year, right? $4,000 a year to now his first year of changing his mindset about money to making $20K a year, right? From $4,000 a year to $20K a year. And he subconsciously didn't really know why he entered into the elite of the rich and wealthy. He didn't really understand what he was doing that was so differently. And then he called this MSI. He said, oh, I figured it out because I was doing it subconsciously. And if everybody can understand this, you can put your money on autopilot. You can make money like driving a car subconsciously. It can be that easy for you. You can like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it. It just happens automatically and subconsciously. If people understood multiple sources of income. And unfortunately, most people don't. Oh, thank you. My Aunt Kathy's on. She just purchased. Thank you for the support, Auntie. Love you. She just purchased an autographed copy of my book. I have it back here, Crypto Chris. So, Auntie, I'm gonna get that out to you next week. I was telling everybody earlier in the live stream that I have to get the updated. Let me reach back here and get it. The updated manuscript revised because the wrong one was downloaded when I got these shipment, and it had some grammatical errors in it. So I uploaded the new manuscript onto Amazon, and when they email me notification, I'm going to get that shipment in. I don't want to send this down, especially for kids to read it, and it's grammatically incorrect. You're not going
I got you back on.
to go ahead.
Hey, my car ain't in here, so it's okay.
Okay. You know, my daughter driving. I usually back in. She entered the garage, uh, head first. But man, I guess she'll drive the car tomorrow because I just like to, when I'm in the garage, I just like to pull out. I don't like to look what's behind me. I don't like to back out the garage. I like to be facing the entryway. So with that being said, thank you so much love. And so people, that's what multiple sources of income is, right? That's what MSI is, people. You cannot be afraid to take the leap and start your home-based business from working from home. And I have that 129 number up because for the month of February, because of this recession, the home-based business that I'm affiliated with has discounted the investment opportunity to join. And people, it was Love Day yesterday, Valentine's Day. People spent money, right? Uh, that's what capitalism is all about. They create holidays. They create these holidays. These, some people say pagan holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. But they create New Year's, January, February is Valentine's Day. March is spring break, and then St. Patty. Then you got April coming in, April Fool's Day. Yeah, Jason, tell them we learn about all this. April's Fool's Day. May and June, Mother's and Father's Day. And then May, you have graduation, college, high school, even the little kitty graduation. We have toddlers graduate now. Daycare to graduate. I mean, all types of stuff, right? In order to spend your money and get you psychologically trained to do that. And I saw this bouquet of roses, and I'm like, it was like $49, right? Let me see, because I took a picture of it. I was planning on live streaming last night, but I was too tired. I had a lot of things going on to live stream, but maybe I did not take a picture of it, right? But it was like $49 at the local grocery store, and I'm like, you know what? People spend $100 or more on flowers, things that'll fade away. On a restaurant, nothing wrong with taking time to smell the roses and show people you love them and appreciate them. But you should do that 365 days a year, right? But nothing wrong with if you want to participate, but just know what you're participating in, and that you're just a pawn in this game. You're just a pawn if you don't understand. And so with that being said, I'm like, it's gotta be that people have people will think twice, sometimes three times, sometimes four times about an investing opportunity. But when it comes to spending their money, they give no thought to it. They tell themselves things like, I deserve these red bottom shoes, I deserve this Louis Vuitton, I deserve this vacation, I deserve this Chanel bag, I deserve this BMW, Mercedes. And sometimes you actually might, if you're in financial position to deserve that. But you'll convince yourself to spend money, but you'll talk yourself out of investing your money. Isn't that good? See, you will self-talk yourself. Tell yourself mentally, this is why I deserve this. I deserve this vacation. I can't afford it. But YOLO, you only live once. YOLO, you'll be YOLO only. And yeah, that part, Jason, that part, you will convince yourself, broken out. You will convince yourself that it is worth getting this $6,000 advance refund and paying interest on it, so that I can take my kids to Disneyland, Disney World, so I can get a steak and seafood Nothing wrong with those things in their prospective places, right? You will convince yourself to look rich and die poor. But when it's come down to investing for $129, you will ask 129 questions. Oh, I'm very logical. I want to be precise. I want to make sure that my credit is going to get repaired. I want to make sure that I can increase my cash flow. I want to make sure that I can, my paycheck, I can actually get an instant pay raise out of my paycheck by adding 470 tax deductions. People, it's just like you in a financial fight, right? As an employee, you only have 9 exemptions and allowances. With this home-based business, you add 475 deductions. That's just simple math, right? If you're in a financial fight and you only have 9 soldiers and I have 475, who's going to win? Being that all things is fair, we have the same weaponry. I have more numbers, so I have more power. It's called powering up your paycheck. It's called being taxed as a business and not under a sole proprietor under your Social Security, but being taxed as a business owner now. And that pumps up your paycheck. You get more money out of your paycheck. Y'all excuse me for my hair. I'm just used to my braids, right? So I want you all to declare, Jason, you're live with me. I will operate my home-based business like a business. Make those declarations. If you're it is very easy that if you're working from home to get lazy and stagnated, and to sleep a little longer in that bed. But I heard Robert Kiyosaki's wife, Kim Kiyosaki, say this, right? And let me see if I can pull that video up. That most big business owners, because in the first 3 years, small businesses fail. And she made this, I put it on my TikTok, that most big business owners, they start from their houses as a result, versus starting, right, just going out and trying to establish their own business, because 1 out of 5 businesses fail the first 5 years. I mean, 1 out of 3 businesses fail the first 5 years. I'm trying to find that video clip of her saying it. And she's known as the cash flow queen, right? And let me see.
They say like 50% of businesses fail. And I think what happens for a lot of first-time business owners, they're coming out of a job. So they're coming out of an employee mindset. And I know this one guy, for example, in Phoenix, Arizona, and he decided he was going to start his own business. And he had been an employee all his life. So what's the first thing he does? He goes and rents a nice office space. Then he buys all the nice furniture. Then he gets a secretary. He hasn't made not $1. And he spends all this because he thinks that's what an entrepreneur looks like. Versus, go make the money first, then go rent your office. If you even need an office, start out of your home. We all started, all the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs I know, all started out of their home.
Yeah, we get 2 here at London.
There you go. Cash flow board game was created on our dining room table.
You said all the entrepreneurs
was written in our house.
In their house.
So I think that employee mindset, and
he said, because most people go out there. Jason, thank you so much.
Make those declarations.
Oh, I didn't hit my own. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate that. So I get great content, because most people want to launch out there, and there's nothing wrong with doing what you're passionate about, but you need to understand business skills before you do that. And the best way to learn is from home. Using your, tax ID number versus your social or your EIN, you can tap this into a home-based business, even if you already have your own business and you just need extra cash flow because your own business is operating in the red, right? So the question is, do you want to operate as a sole proprietor, or you want to operate under the umbrella of a home-based business for $129? Because when you go try to do it through LegalZoom, they're going to charge you thousands. And if you're in California, it's $800 to get incorporated. And you can get that same incorporation. And you can increase your W-4. If you're a W-4 employee, if you're a small business owner, you can increase your cash flow. by helping W-4 employees, people that have paychecks, how to hire your kids or family members for the home-based business. So a lot of the things that you're buying for your kids, from their groceries to their recreational activities to the utilities that it takes for them if they're still at home with you, this is a tax write-off. This is just money that you are missing out on because you won't take advantage of $129 investment in yourself and the financial opportunity and knowledge that this business has to offer you and me, because I'll be your mentor. Document your daily expenses. Most people that do their own business, 50% of them fail because they don't have a documentation tool. You get that in this 129 promotion, right? And you have to understand, what type of home-based business do you want? Do you want a product-based business where you have to sell products? I didn't want that. I didn't want my home, stacked with boxes and things that I have to buy up front and hope people buy later. So I did something that I know all of Americans need. Number one, they have a job. They should desire to get an increase in their take-home pay out of their paycheck, legally, morally, and ethically, by using strategies. If you can, at minimum, get $300 and more a month, which is what my team has gotten, at minimum, the maximum has been $1,400. When you do that, instead of struggling, fighting with inflation, and living paycheck to paycheck or paycheck to Monday, you get paid Friday, and Monday you're broke again because you have to pay past due bills. And how do you create and balance these multiple streams of income? When you get into MSI, see, another great thing about this program that's really, really great about this business is they have a debt elimination plan to it. It gives you your millionaire date so you can be rich on purpose. Let me say that again. So they make you rich on purpose, and they give you the plan to execute that. Haggai in the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Some of you don't even have your millionaire date, that you're going to get out of your bad debt situation. I believe in good debt and bad debt. Bad debt is any debt in which you are paying the interest rates to banks, to credit cards, when you purchase things that depreciate in value, when you purchase things that does not give you potential cash flow in the future. Good debt is when you purchase assets, things that put money into your pockets or bank account. So you got to understand how to leverage credit, use credit to get assets and not liabilities. And you have to know how to balance your multiple streams of income. This program has a debt millionaire date, and you plug in all of your debts and give you a date. And it's really great at helping you now not to pay interest, right? You're either going to be the lender or the borrower. So you're either going to pay interest or you're either going to get paid interest. Some of y'all, they went right over your head. You're either going to pay interest or you're going to get paid the interest. You're either going to leverage or you're going to be leveraged. You're either going to sell or you're going to be sold to. You're either going to be the head or the tail. And most people don't understand what financial freedom means. Financial freedom means that your dome, your mind, your dominion is free. Your dome is free. That's where the word freedom comes from. Your mindset has to be shifted, right? Your mindset has to be shifted, people. If you don't think twice about spending, but have to think 10 times about investing, something is wrong. Your dome is not free. Freedom, financial freedom, is when the dome is free. And $129 vested to improve your financial future is something you don't even blink at. You don't talk yourself out of, right? You leverage this opportunity. You take advantage of this promotional investment cost opportunity. So let me stand up. I'm going to show you all my shirt, and then I'm logging off. Let me see, can I cut my light on? Well, that's not. Long light. I got my garage door light because I got to cut my car off. Okay. So this is the shirt. I got to hold it this way. It should be on my merch store. See that? Trying to hold it. Do business. Do business until I return. And that's the 10X. That's the 10X. It's in my merch store. So do business. People, do business until I return. Hey, I'm logging out. Hope this live stream helped you all. You need multiple sources of income if you want to play the game of the virtual wealth, if you want to keep up with inflation. You definitely need to have cash flow and crypto in your portfolio. It is the new financial system. It is not a gamble. It's not a flip bait. It's not, let me put my cash in, get gains, and take my cash out. If you do that, you're going to have high capital gains taxes. And that's something else that this home-based business help you with as well. So text right now. Don't underthink investing in yourself, right? Or don't overthink investing in yourself and then you underthink spending, right? Don't overthink investing in yourself and then you underthink spending. Don't do that. I'm signing out, and to those who order my book, let me get the right manuscript to you. Those will be shipping out this week, and I'll live stream whenever we fish that glitch on Amazon. Queen out, you all. Crypto, credit, and cash flow. 10X your crypto credit and do business. Luke 19:13. Until he returns.